So I knew that it was coming. I've done everything that I've come to do. So I was crushed for about two years.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules. So everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well. The majority will not.
What really happened to Tyka Nelson, the beloved sister of music legend Prince? Why did her life end so mysteriously, just as whispers of her brother's untimely death gained traction?
A person that used to do business with them is no longer with them because he no longer wanted to do business with Jay-Z and Diddy.
Is it all a coincidence? Or do powerful music giants like Jay-Z and Clive Davis have a hand in the shadows, pulling strings to hide dark secrets about Prince's legacy?
Why do y'all think Prince changed his name to a symbol so they couldn't own the rights to what he did? It was the smartest thing ever. Everybody thought he was crazy. No.
From the controversial moments leading up to Tyka's death to explosive claims about Prince's feud with Jay-Z, let's dive into this deep mystery that's shaking the music world to its core. Jaguar Wright, known for her unfiltered take on the industry, has cast an accusatory spotlight on some of music's most influential names, Jay-Z and Clive Davis. But this time, she's not just talking about any artist. She's talking about Tyka Nelson, the only full sibling of Prince, who tragically passed away. And with her death comes a wave of questions and suspicions, particularly about why it happened now.
Prince defied the odds. A black teen from Minneapolis with a goal to electrify the world. He had the courage to be different.
Tyka Nelson, Prince's younger sister, wasn't just family. She was his closest confidant. Imagine growing up in a home where music was like the family language. Their dad, John L. Nelson, was a jazz musician, and their mom, Maddie Shaw, sang too. So Tyka and Prince practically had music in their DNA. But unlike her brother, Tyka's life would end up being anything but glamorous. She faced serious struggles, from career letdowns to battles with addiction. And even though she was always overshadowed by Prince, she stayed close to him and even tried to make her own way in music. Though it was clear that fame hit the family lottery with him. So here's how it all went down. Tyka released her first album, Royal Blue, back in 1988, hoping to step out of Prince's shadow and make her own name. But the world wasn't exactly waiting for a second Nelson sibling to blow up the charts. Tyka's music didn't exactly take off, but that didn't stop her from trying to carve out a spot for herself.
Did you hear what Jaguar Wright said on Piers Morgan Uncensored? If not, buckle up, because this story could shake the music industry to its core. Jaguar Wright, a singer and outspoken critic of some of the biggest names in entertainment, did not hold back. She called out Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the so-called power couple of music, with allegations that are jaw-dropping. Wright implied they might have connections to some of the darker aspects of the industry, and even hinted at ties to the tragic deaths of icons like Aaliyah and Michael Jackson. She went so far as to claim she has witnesses ready to back up her claims.
Meanwhile, she was dealing with some heavy personal struggles, which she's since opened up about, like her issues with addiction. It was no secret, but it also wasn't a headline that followed her around. Instead, Tyka kept quietly trying to keep her life and music career on track, staying out of the limelight. But everything changed when Prince passed away suddenly in 2016. With his shocking death came a whole new wave of attention on Tyka, who suddenly became the main point of contact for his legacy. Prince didn't leave a will, which meant a lot of legal drama. But Tyka took it on herself to step up, hoping to make sure her brother's memory was protected. She pushed to turn Paisley Park, his famous home and studio, into a museum. While some family members thought it was too soon or too businessy, Tyka felt it was the only way to honor Prince's work and give his fans a place to remember him.
He's not here physically, but through Paisley Park and his music, he'll live on forever.
Still, this commitment wasn't easy. Tyka had to face off with industry bigwigs who wanted a piece of Prince's pie. She started getting pushback from people who didn't exactly see eye to eye with her on how Prince's memory should be handled.
I had been preparing for 2 years, so I knew that it was coming.
And it wasn't just about Paisley Park. The people in charge of Prince's estate, his money, and his music catalog weren't always willing to let Tyka call the shots. She faced constant pressure, and as musician Jaguar Wright once hinted, going up against industry giants can be dangerous. They're used to controlling artists' legacies and making money off them. No one likes it when a family member steps in and insists things go a different way. In fact, Jaguar Wright has pointed out that Hollywood and the music industry aren't kind to anyone who tries to hold on to an artist's legacy if it gets in the way of business. For Tyka, trying to preserve what Prince stood for meant she was suddenly in the middle of some very powerful people who weren't thrilled with her choices. She became the gatekeeper of Prince's legacy. And it's rumored that she had more than one heated conversation with executives who wanted to profit off Prince's work in ways that went against his wishes. Ultimately, Tyka's commitment to preserving Prince's legacy may have even isolated her a bit. Some people close to her said she was relentless and wouldn't back down, even when things got ugly. And while she never had the fame or success her brother did, Tyka became almost as important in the Prince story as he was. She was the one protecting his memory, dealing with all the behind-the-scenes drama, and pushing back against anyone who wanted to exploit him. It wasn't an easy job. In fact, it was more like an uphill battle. Family disagreements, industry giants pushing her around, and media scrutiny. But through it all, Tyka stayed focused. She saw herself as Prince's protector even after his death.
Let's break this down. Wright didn't mince words. She called Jay-Z a monster, drawing comparisons to Sean Diddy Combs, who is currently dealing with serious legal troubles. According to Wright, the stories she's heard about Jay-Z are just as disturbing as the allegations surrounding Diddy. She criticized Jay-Z for staying silent on Diddy's situation, accusing him of starting little fires and walking away while others clean up the mess. Those are some strong accusations.
There, and he was not there at the houses. And he was quiet.
That was the worst part of that.
And to see his sons being
How
hacked.
do you force your kids to do your perp walk? That was the worst part, and all I could think about was Kim and Misa.
The girls.
Just her son. He left their son to be walked out backwards on camera for the world to see. Thank God Kimura got the girls. Misa's son. Misa and Wolf's son.
Man.
And Quincy's missing.
Quincy's missing. Oh. And lastly.
After he was questioned by the feds.
After.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was in witness protection right now. Which means his father ain't never gonna see him again.
Have we seen the last, or is this just the beginning of that saga?
It's just getting started.
True.
Which is why I think people are so uncomfortable about me being in this position right now because of my press pass and because I'm going to be in the courtroom for the Keffe D trial. If we get to the bottom of Tupac's when that is finally revealed, 15 other will be revealed with it. And you will find that they were all committed by the same two people, father and son.
Were you surprised by Keffe D's arrest for Tupac?
No. I'm just surprised that he hasn't given it up yet. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone to the feds yet because he just got stabbed in jail.
Yes, he did.
He's been beaten 3 times. And I'm going to say it for a fact. I know you the one pulling the strings. Reggie Wright Jr. Stop putting your dirty work on other people. You know exactly what you are. And so help me God if you don't keep my name out your mouth.
But here's where it gets even more intense. Wright claims she has who are ready to come forward and testify against Jay-Z. Not just vague accusations, actual testimony. According to her, she didn't drop names or share specific evidence during the interview. But the way she framed
What makes this even more intense is that Wright claims to have witnesses ready to come forward and testify against Jay-Z. These aren't just vague accusations. She hinted at actual testimony. While Wright didn't drop names or share evidence during the interview, she made it clear she wasn't talking about minor incidents. If these claims are true, they could completely shatter the carefully built image of Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
The last time you were on the couch, you had mentioned, and it's crazy that you say these things, you talk about Bad Boy, you speak on Heavy D, you speak on Al B. Sure, and you say like, look who's standing, and now Al B. Sure is now, he's being cryptic, not too cryptic, but he's very cryptic. He's very cryptic, but
he's speaking louder than he's ever spoken before.
Ever.
And the reason why he's cryptic is for the sake of his son. Imagine having an enemy that has a position of influence in your child's life and knowing that that person sends you notes and messages every now and then. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, that boy is allegedly. Imagine that. Imagine that your baby mama is telling you that if you don't do what he wants you to do, he's going to child. And you know he's capable of it. Allegedly. Story in the Bible. 2 women had 2 babies. One woman went to sleep, rolled over on her baby. The other woman's baby was just fine. The woman whose baby, she got up, she went and stole the baby from her roommate. Then they fought over who the mother was. They went before the king, King Solomon. He heard both sides of the story and said, give me a knife. Give me a sword. He got the sword and he was like, I'm going to cut the baby in half and each of you can have a piece and then we'll be done with it. It was the real mother that said, don't harm that baby, she can have him. Why is nobody willing to accept, as monstrous as people are finding out that Diddy is now, that he wouldn't be willing to split Quincy in half? Because he would.
Yeah, he said some years ago, like during a TV show, that he would like harm his own mother to get what he wanted, or something along those lines. So,
well, I don't blame him for wanting to harm that. She's his victimizer and his pimp. She his first pimp.
Oh. Okay. You know, your Bible story, I have to just sidetrack real quick and ask you this question, or get your thoughts on it. There's a man who recently married conjoined twins, and he's only marrying one of them.
Of course, this isn't the first time conspiracy theories have swirled around the Carters. The internet has buzzed for years with claims about their alleged Illuminati ties, questionable business practices, and how they've used their power to dominate the industry. But Jaguar Wright's comments take things to a whole new level. She isn't just talking about behind-the-scenes drama. She's suggesting something far darker.
The Rifkin house, it wasn't Diddy's house.
Okay.
But all the freak-off alleged participants was there. You know what I'm saying? All the alleged undercover home niggas and women were there. You know what I'm saying? So he felt at home to make that move.
Do you feel like Ja Rule was part of that? Do you know personally know Ja Rule?
Yeah, I know Ja.
Do you feel like he on that type of time?
I never seen him do anything for me to say that he's on that type of time.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Ja Rule seemed cool, man. I had him on the show and all that, man. But when that news came out, I'm like, damn, bro. I hope the homie ain't switch sides on us or nothing.
Well, what news?
What's that?
What news are you referring to?
Well, basically, those claims that Gene Deal put out there, man, about them being in the room together.
Oh, come on! When Gene Deal was guarding the freak door.
Exactly.
And Ja Cousin tried to come and go in And he's like, nah, nigga, it's the freak off. You can't go in here. You heard me say, there's some real freaky shit going on there. But just because Ja, Diddy, because I think they said Ja, Diddy, and 2 chicks was in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that they could have just been, I don't know what they could have been doing, but he didn't insinuate that Diddy and Ja was doing anything. He kind of made it seem like they was in there popping off with some chick.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to throw Ja in that mix. Now, if it was all niggas in there, then you know what I'm saying. But for me, I'm gonna give Ja the benefit of the doubt because he said it was. They asked him. I think he named who was in there, but I just can't remember. But I know it was like 2 women. It wasn't a bunch of dudes.
Like the part that's a lot of people are leaving out that it was 2 women in there. It wasn't just them 2 in there.
Yeah.
Doing strange things. You mentioned in one of your interviews that you feel like your career was kind of hindered because you didn't give in to zesty activities.
That's a fact.
Were you being pressured by like higher ups to kind of, do weird things, or why do you feel that way?
Then there's the connection to Aaliyah and Michael Jackson. These names hold a special place in music history. Aaliyah, the beloved princess of R&B, tragically died in a plane crash, while Michael Jackson's controversial death still sparks debate. Wright's claims tap into a broader narrative that many fans and critics have speculated on for years.
As these legal battles unfold, troubling allegations have surfaced, indicating that his well-known friends may have been aware of Diddy's actions, often referred to as his freak-offs. These friends are now seemingly scrambling to delete any evidence that might implicate them. During an interview with the Law and Crime Network, Busby expressed his strong belief that many of these celebrity associates are indeed scrubbing their social media.
We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit.
He noted that they might be searching through their memories and deleting texts, photos, and any other information that could connect them to Diddy's legal issues. Busby stated, "I have no doubt that there are people right now who know that they were somehow involved in this." He warned that although this process of uncovering the truth will take time, they are just beginning to scratch the surface of the situation. Busby highlighted the difficulties victims face when coming forward about their experiences. He emphasized the importance of resolving these matters without public lawsuits, as it is often in the best interest of the victims.
If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you.
To that end, Busby has already managed to settle cases with several individuals, many of whom are known figures in the entertainment industry. He also made a public appeal for other victims of Diddy to come.
It's important to note, however, that there's no concrete evidence linking Jay-Z or Beyoncé to these tragedies. But in the world of conspiracy theories, a lack of evidence doesn't always stop the speculation.
The other is attached by the hip, and they both share the same bottom parts. Is there anything that you feel wrong with that? Freaky or indifferent?
I mean, question is, what's wrong with the bitches down with it?
It does raise questions.
Like, you forcing your sister to get raped so you can get off.
Well, the sister says she has to put on headphones to kind of zone out.
Yeah, but she's still feeling it.
Oh, man. That is still happening.
You forcing your sister to get raped.
Yeah.
She don't want that nigga. you want that nigga. That's what I hear. As a selfish bitch.
So, right.
She's sitting over there with her headphones on. La 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 la. What kind of wants to be under those kind of conditions. I'm only in love with the right side of you. The left side. I don't know who that bitch she can get this to. Like, that's how this sound to me.
Crazy.
Wow. I don't know, am I sounding crazy?
No, you're right. You're making some points. Valid point.
Everybody selfish except for the bitch with the headphones. The thing that's tripping me out is, why don't you grab, like, are you in control of any part of the body? Like, you need to take a free hand and start beating the out of them every time they get the. I bet you he don't want it no more than. Like, give you a little skillet, and as soon as they get the fuck bang, headphone, bitch, get a pan. Like, I don't. Fucking la la la.
We hope she finds a man herself. We hope she finds a man herself.
I so can't. Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny.
Speaking of speculation, the timing of Wright's allegations is raising eyebrows. They come at the same time Diddy faces his own legal battles, which have already exposed the darker side of the music industry. Could this be connected? Or is it just a coincidence? Wright seems to think it's no accident, painting a picture of powerful figures like Jay-Z and Diddy pulling strings behind the scenes.
It's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. Snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
What makes you so vocal? Like,
I'm tired.
He just.
I didn't want to skip to the end. All this shit is fucked up. All you is weird. Go to the jail and let's move on and let Generation Z make their own problems, make their own choices. These kids are living the consequences of what Gen X did and don't even know why they're doing it because everyone's lying.
So
corporate Takeoff's death wasn't nothing but a corporate hostile takeover using his life as the god. Oh my God.
Man, R.I.P. Takeoff.
That boy died so they could cash in a motherfucking insurance policy and to cover up the fact that rock.
What's particularly bold is Wright's description of Jay-Z and Beyonce as a nasty little couple. Those are fighting words. She's taking aim at their image, the power couple who seem to have it all: music, money, influence, and family. If her allegations hold any truth, they suggest a much darker side to their success.
On you?
Yeah, that's been a recurring theme. Got one right now too, matter of fact.
Damn. What's the going rate right now?
Well, I'll send you a video.
Damn, okay. Shit.
In this situation, they have 50 on me.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, damn.
50 ball. Yeah, damn. That's a nigga. What?
They have 50 on me. They had 50 on them, bro.
And if you don't mind, while you put that up, can you speak on why? I mean, I know you about to send it, but for what reason? Is it something you said, something you done, a female you protected? Maybe it went too far.
Right. So like I had referenced earlier, like my main business model is protecting females who got the proper resources. So these guys had hold on, I'm gonna send you that video. Oh yeah, let me get that right now before I forget. So matter of fact, let me just do this before I start, because this is a dark topic right now. Fuck. You can see some strippers from bro. Trying to get interested. Oh, okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Joker, coming to you right now.
Oh. Yeah, so this is what you did to the young man.
Yeah. So that's when I had 50 on me. Yeah, I had to shoot through the door. And like the dude who said call 911, he got hit in the neck, hit an artery, shot blood all through the ceiling on the porch, everywhere. Oh, let me get it right, my bad.
Let's not forget that these are still just allegations. As of now, neither Jay-Z nor Beyoncé has responded to Wright's claims. Given their history, they might not say anything at all. The Carters are known for staying silent in the face of controversy, letting the speculation run its course. But is that the right move here? Wright's accusations are spreading quickly online, with fans and critics weighing in. Some dismiss her as someone seeking attention, while others believe she's voicing what many have suspected for years.
I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. Conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter, no matter who the evidence implicates.
The entertainment industry is cooked. Can you imagine how many other famous people and big executives are probably involved in this?
These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed. The wall of silence has now been broken and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs.
So they said they vetted. That's what cut out right there, but they were vetted. 120 people.
Claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. We also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues. We check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against.
Wait, is there anyone in support of Diddy? Is that a thing? Does Diddy actually have diehard fans that aren't like shitting on him right now? I've literally never seen a single one. Everyone's just like, yeah, this guy's psycho.
As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. It is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida.
This guy's a menace.
I don't want to focus on the ages of these victims. When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Okay, I didn't know about that. I thought this, what? I swear on my life I did not know about that part. Oh no.
We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
This guy is a disturbed psych.
It's also worth noting the role of platforms like Piers Morgan and Censored in all of this. By giving Wright a space to share her story, the show amplified her voice to an audience that might not have otherwise heard her claims.
He admits it. During his interview with The Art of Dialogue, Freddie talked about how powerful Diddy was in the industry.
So, people trying to make it, Diddy's the big dog. That fans know what they doing, they grabbing the big dog. When you sit at the table, and you got this white person, this white person, this white person, this white person, it's gonna be two rich white people, and it's gonna be Diddy as their right-hand man, and they probably got another right-hand man over there. That's how I feel the table go.
Now, fans think that Freddie was trying to hint at a deeper narrative at play here, like how when a powerful person like Diddy ends up behind bars, they become easy targets for their enemies. One person commented, "Damn, Freddie said something that went over your heads. Puffy was the bridge for hip-hop and Hollywood." So that makes Puff the biggest gatekeeper on the hip-hop black side. Yeah, they changing the regime, somebody taking Puff's spot, they don't want him there no more. And so life behind bars isn't exactly a walk in the park for Diddy. Heck, he was placed on protection watch during his initial days.
I'm wondering if that's why they placed him on suicide watch now, kind of what you were saying, protective coverage, because he is such a high profile inmate. Do you think that could be part of it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, going from a life where you live in a mansion to going to sit in a jail facility is not something easy to deal with.
And yes, according to his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, the precaution is the protocol for new, high-profile inmate, and that Diddy was strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense back then. But let's admit it, Diddy's never getting used to that prison life, which is why he keeps applying for bail. He proposed a new $50 million bail package that included around-the-clock security monitoring, home detention, and restrictions on his ability to contact anyone except for his legal team. He also agreed to not have access to the internet or phone, and a pre-approved visitor list of select family members. He would also be surrendering his passports belonging to him and his family members. What's more, his legal team claimed that new evidence makes it clear that the government's case is thin against the rapper. Fans are waiting to see how the judge rules on this one. At the end of the day, no one's exactly shedding tears for the former music mogul. He ruined the lives of a lot of people, and as far as fans see it, he deserves everything that's happening to him. But what do you think? Is Diddy right to be paranoid? Should he just accept his circumstances?
Interestingly, fans are connecting Wright's allegations to Diddy's downfall, hinting at a deeper narrative. Some believe when a powerful figure like Diddy faces consequences, they become easy targets for enemies looking to take their place. One comment summed it up: Puffy was the bridge between hip-hop and Hollywood, so they're taking him out to change the regime. Diddy's initial days behind bars, including being placed under protective watch, only add to the speculation.
So you said that Denzel Washington wasn't down with the program, the Diddy program.
Well, no. My friend had to do a number 2, and she was on stage, and he wouldn't let her be relieved, and so she ended up doing it on stage in front of everybody, and it was a wet one, and it went everywhere. It was so nasty, and Denzel was disgusted. He grabbed his wife and was like, "You don't respect nobody," and ran up out of there.
Did you see people react like that a lot, or were most people going with the flow?
It was so much going on. The people that noticed reacted, but it was just so much going on. If you weren't right there in that vicinity, you didn't even know. It was too much going on. But yeah, everybody, and everybody was just walking around zombied out. Like after a certain time, when you would make the announcement, if you don't, the regular party's over, if you don't want to participate in what goes on after. It's just interesting. I just want to bring up Justin Bieber for a second. Shout out to Justin Bieber, man. I'm a Justin Bieber fan. I want to work with him. Man, I have such empathy for you. You are a strong person, Justin. Shout out to you in your heart. You sing when I hear the pain. Now when I listen to your music, I hear the pain in your voice, Justin. All you wanted to do was sing. Your mother caught you playing your guitar, singing, and thought, let me help my son out. Let me focus on what God, let me nurture this talent. And she thought she was doing the right thing by taking that video to Scooter Braun. And I'm sure Scooter Braun probably thought he was doing the right thing taking to Usher. But Usher, why you do him like that? You need to get slapped or something, Usher. You knew what Diddy was going to do to him. What'd you get by taking him over there? And then you had the nerve, he signed to you? So you've been making money off him after you get him abused like that? You owe him all his money back. Are you Diddy number 2, 3, 4, Usher? Running around here. I mean, this is ridiculous, y'all. Hey, I'm on a live, y'all. Stop calling me when I'm on a live. That's disrespectful. I'm on live. Stop calling me.
Jaguar Wright is watching. She's in the chat.
Hi, Jaguar. I love you. Oh, I love if I can work with her. She sings so good. When she, hey, tell Fox to stop calling me. Jaguar Wright is on the. Tell him to keep
Purple
calling
Rain.
over. Tell him to stop. He keep calling. He called 5 times. I don't even know what did. Man, he gonna make me talk mess. Tell him to stop. That's ridiculous. Hey, Jaguar. Yeah, I just want to say, man, your voice is amazing. Your strength is amazing.
This raises questions about responsibility. Should platforms fact-check explosive claims like Wright's before airing them? Or is it enough to let audiences decide what to believe?
Well, now with the information age, the reality is a lot of times the truth is a short Google search away. It is that simple. Just don't take. And then the thing about it, don't get me wrong. Now, you can Google search and then stuff can pop up that's still not necessarily be the truth. So what I typically do is I look at the first 1 or 2 stories, if it's opinion-based type thing. And then what I'll do is I'll scroll to like the second page of the results, because then you start to find out stuff that might contradict what you have read in the first. And then you kind of read between the lines and truly be have a discerning eye to what you read. And then between all of the information, a lot of times you can get to the truth for real. You just got to be, and then you got to know the difference between somebody's blog page. You Google something, and then the answer pops up, and it's somebody's blog. Well, that's still somebody else's opinion. Where's this person getting their information from? So you got to nail it down and get to a reputable information source, and then compile your answer. That's kind of how I do it right there. And reputable ain't necessarily always news outlets, because news outlets get stuff wrong sometimes too. So, I think that's the best way. A lot of times people just don't do their due diligence though.
And I think that's the thing, taking the time. Go ahead, Steve.
It all boils down to, in this day and time, people are just lazy when it comes. They don't want to do the research. They don't want to do the research, and it gets a lot of people in trouble. And that's why, and I'm gonna go here too. That's why so many problems in the church. They just take what the pastor says, and they don't look up the scripture and just look it up for themselves. So it's a lot of that going on, man. And then there's another factor. News, like you said, news sources aren't always right, because now in this day and time, it's not important for them to be right. It's now important for them to be the first to report it. Then they'll recant later on. But I'm gonna say this: if you hear anything about me out here, 9 times out of 10, it's true.
I think
the pictures of you booed up with Aaron Carter.
Wait a minute, whoa!
The pictures you booed up with Aaron Carter, them real.
That was a headlock, bro. That was a headlock.
That's what he said. It was a headlock. That's what he said.
I tell you every time, Steve, I don't know, I'm gonna have to find something. Now that you're like away from me, I'm gonna have to look something to buzz you or something when I can tell you starting to go offline. But no, I do appreciate, I think both of you bring up great points. Even watching this guy that brings up Oprah Winfrey, just like even paying attention to what he's saying.
What's undeniable is the ripple effect Wright's words are having. Social media is on fire with reactions, from hashtags questioning the Carter's integrity to memes and videos analyzing every word she said. This isn't just a one-day story. It's a conversation that's likely to stick around, especially with Wright hinting that there's more to come.
It's a fake CCTV footage. Simply because it's time-stamped, and the pixels in that camera, any AI footage, the pixels is way higher than a normal camera.
For sure.
So, you got to take that into consideration.
I think I'm gonna Google everyone who has a $200 million yacht, and we're gonna line this. We're gonna get close.
It's hundreds of guys who got.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rook, didn't you say you wanted a yacht?
200 million.
200 million.
I'm scared to get money now.
It's getting scary.
It's not the money that changes people, because if you a man who get money, you know that this money is a tool.
Right.
It's not your identity. And like, I'm sure there are things that you wouldn't do for money.
Right.
So it's not the money that changes people.
Rook always told me money only amplifies who you really are.
Yeah, you don't really know who you are until you get some money.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
Let you have anything in the world that you want. I'm gonna throw you one. Now, Diddy was he had sued the liquor company. I forget the name. It was a hard name for me to pronounce, but he pretty much won the lawsuit. But you know, it was explained that in these lawsuits or in these there's a morality clause. Do you think that his battle against this liquor company could have been what set this off actually, or was this only inevitable?
Well, you gotta look at it.
Stepping back, what does this say about the music industry as a whole? Wright's allegations aren't just about Jay-Z and Beyoncé. They point to a culture of power and secrecy that she claims runs deep. If her stories are true, they expose a system that protects the powerful at the expense of the vulnerable. Clip 15. And if they're not true, they still highlight how easy it is for conspiracy theories to take root in an industry where so much happens behind closed doors.